Good morning, staff and student body. Welcome back, aviators. Today is the Meet the Admin, and we are going to spend the next few minutes getting to know you better and having you get to know some very important people that are going to bring you success here at Sycamore Junior High. We'd like to welcome everyone back this year. It's been a challenging year last year, and we're going to have some challenges to face again this year. But together we will hold strong and have a very successful year, both social emotionally for you guys as well as academically. And so without further ado, I'm going to start by introducing the administrative team. I'm Dr. Ray, principal here at Sycamore Junior High, for those of you who do not know it or who are new here. We have the wonderful Mrs. Bernosky, who is the 8th grade assistant principal, and the fabulous Mr. Lavercombe, who is the 7th grade assistant principal. Hope everyone has had a great start to the school year. Can't wait to see you in the hallways, and welcome to the 21-22 school year.
Our school counselors are Mr. Brenner, who supports students' last names A through K, Mrs. Suter, last names L through T, and Mrs. Morris, last names U through Z. Additional school support staff is Mrs. Dunn, our school psychologist, Mr. Tallman, a student support counselor, Mrs. McKinney, and Mrs. Xera, two Cincinnati children's therapists.
Our office staff has seen some changes as well. Mrs. Marlott retired, and now we have Ms. Namaki here as her replacement. Mrs. Lally is here, Mrs. Augustine is here, as well as Mrs. Manning in the counseling office. We're very thankful to have those wonderful people down here with us. In addition, we have Mr. Oddie. Officer Oddie will be returning as our school resource officer, and his fantastic protection of us and you. And also down here we have our school nurse, Mrs. Bonham, and we are very thankful for all her help and hard work in keeping us safe and healthy here in the building. Also, our wonderful teachers and staff. We have some new faces in the building. As you see them around, please introduce yourself. And as you see me in the building, please introduce yourself. I would love to get to know you and hear all about your summer and things you're doing outside these school walls.
Hi everybody, Molly Bernosky, assistant principal supporting 8th grade. You might remember me from last year if you were a virtual 7th grader. I supported our virtual learners from online, and I am excited to welcome everybody back to the building. So a few objectives to go over for this next part of the video is we want to ensure that you understand our behavioral expectations for the junior high, as well as the privileges associated with those expectations. And then things you must do in order to meet and earn those rewards and privileges. As you may remember from Green School, we have behavioral expectations around these 4 areas: being safe, responsible, a problem solver, and respectful. These 4 characteristics are what it means to be Sycamore. You can see that those 4 characteristics have behavioral expectations for each setting in the school. And throughout today, this morning, and continuing into the afternoon, you will be talking with your classes and your teachers about what does it mean to be respectful, responsible, safe, and a problem solver across a variety of areas of the school. Let's move on to attendance expectations. The school day this year officially starts at 8:02 a.m. and then the school day ends at 3:02 p.m. Note that if you are arriving to school after 8:02, you will be considered tardy. If you have frequent tardies, that may result in consequences. If you are late to school, you need to come in through the front door, sign in at the front desk, and you must provide a written excuse. And if you need to leave early, please have your family complete a school communication form, which is completed and signed by the office staff. You also need to be to classes on time. If you're frequently tardy to class, that may result in consequences, and then skipping class will not be tolerated.
We have construction here at the junior high. This is very exciting. We're going to have a new building here in 2 years, and you're going to see changes throughout the year, both inside and outside. 8th graders who were in the building last year, the first thing you probably noticed is that there is no longer a green mile. It's the green half mile. With that, there's going to be some things that happen. All right, please remember as you arrive each day, and as Mrs. Bernosky talked about attendance, if you notice that there's excess traffic, you really need to make sure you leave school on time, and for that reason, we are encouraging everyone to ride the bus. Riding the bus will make sure that you are here on time, and being here on time and here every day will ensure your success at Sycamore Junior High. So, in those hallway expectations, hallways are congested. There's almost 900 of you guys here in the building, so it's important to take the most direct route to your classes. Students will have 4 minutes in between classes. So you have 4 minutes to get from class to class. We're asking that you walk on the right side of the hallway, just like you would in a car on the road. You drive on the right, walk on the right. Lockers, only accessed before school and after school and during assigned times. 7th grade, your assigned time is after 3rd bell, and 8th grade after 4th bell. In order to make sure that the hallways are not even more congested, we ask that you please utilize those times only. Very important. And then obviously before school and after school. It's expected that the hallways are safe and controlled. In the event of an emergency, we need to make sure we can get information to you quickly and make sure that you can hear it. Students should not be running, pushing, loud voices in the hallway. Just follow those PBIS expectations that have been outlined for you here today. Lockers. Last year there were no lockers. This year there are. Again, 7th grade after 3rd bell, 8th grade after 4th bell. Your cell phone should be in your locker and turned off. Please don't have a consequence because unfortunately you forgot and made a poor choice and it goes off in class. You will be able to carry backpacks between bells. We're doing that again. And all your items in your locker need to be contained in your locker, not adjacent to locker.
Now let's talk about dismissal expectation. Make sure that when you are riding the bus, you are following all the rules that the bus driver instills. At this time, masks must be worn on the bus. School buses are considered public transportation, and a federal requirement right now is that public transportation, people who ride it, must wear a mask. Students may be temporarily or permanently removed from the bus if they have discipline issues on the bus. So riding the bus is a privilege, it's not a guarantee, and bus drivers can write up discipline referrals. At dismissal, please board your bus immediately, and buses drop off and pick up along Interstate I-71, which is considered the east side of the building. More about dismissal. Students, you are allowed to ride your bikes to school. Bike riders should enter the main entrance and exit in the pig entrance. We call it the pig entrance because there's a ginormous statue of a pig there. And it is your responsibility to lock up your bike. This will be the same entrance and exit for walkers as well. Walkers, please come in the main entrance, and if you're walking home, leave throughout the pig entrance. You may ride a skateboard to school, but you cannot ride them on school grounds. And then car riders, this will be different this year. Car riders will be dropped off behind the cafeteria close to the stadium. So if you're thinking about last year, the buses and car riders have switched parking lots. Make sure to hustle to get to your ride. You don't want to miss your ride to or from school. Dress code expectations. So every year we have a dress code, and this is outlined in the student handbooks, but some of the important ones we'd like to go over now. So no hats or hoods should be worn in the building. Yes, you can wear a hood, but hoods have to always be down once you step foot in the school building. It is a safety issue. Pajamas, loungewear, slippers are not permitted. And you may carry your backpack or a drawstring bag. Leggings are permitted but should not be torn or sheer, meaning see-through. And see-through clothing of any kind is not permitted. Please no shirts with profanity or messages on them that violate the code of conduct. And then also, please be mindful of tank tops or belly showing shirts. At no point should we be able to see a student's stomach. You should have your complete stomach covered.
Alrighty, now for my favorite class of the day, lunch. Let's talk about lunchroom expectations. Your 5th bell will be assigned to an area, a particular spot, either the cafeteria or the wrestling room, and you will have an assigned table. Again, this is for contact tracing purposes, as we have to continue to do that, especially during lunch. Please sit in your assigned area and assigned seats. Recess, again, as Ms. Bernowski said, the parking lots are flipped, so recess will be along the east side of the building, along I-71 and the retaining wall. That's where recess will be, because the area behind the cafeteria simply is not big enough, and recess will be after lunch. In order to leave the cafeteria, you must be dismissed by an adult. We will have monitors in there who will go table by table to dismiss you to make sure your area, your table, and floor is clean. Clean up after yourselves, just as you would at home. Our custodial staff works hard to make sure this building and facility is clean. Wash your hands, treat the machines with care. We're going to continue that. That's a good practice to make sure we don't spread germs, whether it's COVID, strep throat, anything like that. We want to make sure our hands are clean. Picnic tables outside are currently closed due to construction. Truthfully, you're not going to want to eat in a dust storm anyway. Remain seated for the remainder of lunch once you're done eating. Use your manners, demonstrate behaviors aligned with the Code of Conduct and the PBIS matrix. And then lunchtime is a time to communicate with peers, not be on your phone. Your phone should be in your locker and turned off, not at the lunch table. So, with those, we do have our school devices. Treat your device, treat your Chromebook with respect. If damage occurs to your device, you're responsible for the fees. Devices are to be used only for appropriate uses only. Failure to use your device may result in consequences, and this includes outside of school as you take these home. Electronic misuse is a code of conduct violation, and devices must remain in their cases. That could lead to an office referral. And one of the most important things that we stressed last year is make sure your device is charged each day. And as we get to state testing, map testing, and air testing, you're going to make sure your device is updated as well. So, again, circling back to cell phones. Cell phones are not permitted to be used or carried by students during school hours. End of story. If you need to use your phone, we have a phone here in the office. Come up here and we'll be glad to let you use the phone to call home, call parent, call guardian, call your ride, whomever. And remember, your phone should be in your locker and turned off. If you have a phone visible, junior high staff will confiscate it. The first infraction is you're going to pick it up at the end of the day. All future infractions, parent pickup, and discipline after school possibly. If a teacher asks for your phone, you've clearly violated the code of conduct. Do not create a bigger issue by refusing to give your phone to that teacher. Teacher's going to take it and bring it down here to the office where you can pick it up. Do not refuse that and make a mountain out of a molehill. Alright? Please comply with requests. You can pick it up at the end of the day, and we'll appreciate that.
Alright, so you're a junior high student, which means that you have increased freedom but also increased responsibility. And one of those responsibilities is your homework. So something that you might be curious about is how much homework am I expected to have each night or each week? So if you were taking Language Arts 7 or 8 honors, you can expect about 45 minutes to 60 minutes of homework each night. And if you are in typical Language Arts 7th or 8th grade, you can expect about 15 to 20 minutes of homework each night. Math, expect 10 to 15 problems. In science and social studies, about 3 to 5 nights a week, you might have about 30 minutes of work that you're expected to do. Elective classes, somewhere, depending on what you're taking, somewhere between 15 to 20 minutes of homework each night. We do expect that all students complete their homework on time. Now, certainly if you have needs, communicate that with your teacher and come to an agreement with them, but there are consequences when you do not complete your homework on time. The first thing to note is that you may be assigned bench. Bench is an acronym meaning being expected to complete necessary classwork and homework. So if you fail to turn in homework on time, your teacher may refer you to bench, which are sessions after school on Tuesdays and Thursdays until 4:15, where you have opportunity to complete your homework in a small environment with a staff member who cares about you and wants to help you to complete it. And then you would get bussed home from that. In addition, if students struggle to complete their homework even after going to bench, they will then be assigned what we call layover. Layover, it's during lunchtime, and it's when you would get your lunch, but then you take your lunch to a room that is a small group with 2 staff members, and they're helping you to get your work done. And you would be assigned to go to layover every single day until your work is made up. Next, we will talk about handling conflict. So as we get to the junior high level, sometimes you're still kind of figuring out who you are and situations with friends. So conflict can occur between friends, between classmates. It's inevitable that it will happen, but it's your responsibility to deal with it in a mature manner. So expectations, if you have conflict with another peer, we expect you to resolve it, but if you cannot, please let a staff member know. If there's a situation where two students cannot agree, counselors are there to help. And be careful, we want to avoid bullying at all costs. We do not tolerate bullying, so if there is conflict that results in bullying, we do have a district bullying policy. Harassment, intimidation, and bullying, or HIB, can be defined as such. It is unprovoked, meaning you didn't ask for it, or intentional, written, verbal, electronic, or physical. So electronic would be including your phones or your school devices, your laptops that you're given. When one student does this behavior to another student more than once and it causes mental or physical harm and is severe or pervasive, that it makes the school intimidating, threatening, or abusive environment for a student. So if you are exhibiting behaviors that is repetitive and that it is causing mental or physical harm and it is making the other student feel like they're not welcome at school, it could be considered a HIB violation. Bullying means that there was an intention. Somebody set out to cause harm to another student, either physically or emotionally. And bullying must also include a power imbalance. So the victim perceives that the bully is stronger than they are. Now, there is a form of bullying that's indirect. So sometimes when we think about bullying, we only think about the physical side of bullying, but there are bullying that can be verbal, emotional, hate motivated, or cyber, meaning it's done online. And you can see the definitions here. To take a stand against bullying, if you see that another student is being harassed, there are a variety of things that you can do as seen on the slide here. But I would encourage that if you feel like somebody is picking on you, to remember the acronym SAFE, meaning that you can stay away from that person, ask for help, find a friend, or exit the situation.
One of the greatest things that we have here to offer at the junior high is student support. There is so many adults here ready and willing and able to help you in your time of need, whatever that may be. Be brave and ask for help. That's super important. If you're experiencing any of the following: anxiety, depression, thoughts about harming yourself or others, dealing with the loss of a family member, struggling with a parent divorce, unable to focus at school, always feel tired or sleepy, making concerning statements, or have any other concerns. First off, you're not alone. Alright? My parents are divorced. Okay? I experienced some anxiety in junior high. It's okay. The biggest thing is you've got to get out there and ask for help so you can get through some of those hard times. It's very difficult to do those alone, and we have so many resources here at your disposal to make sure you're taken care of. So contact a counselor or a trusted adult. Alright, the phone number here is extension 2510 here at the junior high. Again, you've got Mr. Brenner, Mrs. Suter, Mrs. Morris, Mr. Tallman, Mrs. McKinney, Ms. Teixeira, and any other adult here in the building that's ready and willing to help. A trusted teacher, a trusted coach, ask for help.
There are a variety of rewards and privileges that you may experience at the junior high. First class tickets. This is something that I believe is unique to the junior high. So when you exhibit one of our expected behaviors, the being safe, being responsible, problem solver, and so on, you may receive a first class ticket from a staff member. Go ahead and write your name on the back of it, and those tickets can then be turned in for rewards at certain lunch periods. The tickets will then also all be collected, and then student names are drawn throughout and prizes are provided. Also, we encourage you to get involved at Sycamore Junior High. At the junior high level, we have sports, we have games to go to, we'll have dances, we'll have assemblies, Kona Ice. There's going to be a lot of fun things to experience. And last but not least, including 8th grade day. So 8th grade day is a tradition at Sycamore Junior High. So it's a really memorable time for our students. And it is something that 8th graders need to earn. So please avoid having any discipline referrals if you would like to go to 8th grade day this year. The student handbook, I would encourage you to look over it. Parents and guardians are required to read it and sign off, and it is online. And the handbook outlines many of the things we've been talking about today, but including policies, procedures, and our discipline at the junior high. Okay, Sycamore Junior High students, it's been a pleasure to speak with you these past 20 minutes about what this school year will look like. We wish you the best of luck this year. Go Aves!
Again, come up, introduce yourselves to us. We want to know you. We want to learn about you. Hope you guys have a fantastic year. Go Aves!